All right, so we still have to talk about outliers. And the example I give with outliers is the example of houses. So a lot of people have driven through neighborhoods and seen like really expensive houses or houses that just look like junk, like they're dilapidated and they're probably really cheap houses. So with outliers, we're looking at those. We're looking at the super expensive houses that kind of stick out or the super cheap houses that kind of stick out, but there are things that are outside of our normal expectation. So for outliers, there's a couple steps. So outliers are unique values, and some mathematician decided that the way to calculate this is you take your IQR, so from up here you take your IQR, and you multiply it by 1.5. Always. It's always 1.5. I don't know why. I don't know. But with that 1.5, it's going to give you some number, okay? So I'm just going to call it triangle because there's no real name for it. So what we need to do is we need to look at the two extremes. We need to look at really expensive houses or really cheap houses. So kind of the normal number for us is this box right here, this IQR, that's normal to us. The lower end of normal, or the middle 50%, is Q1. So what we're going to do is take Q1 and we're going to subtract however much this triangle was, okay? And then whatever that becomes, we'll call it a, I don't know, a blue square, okay? This number is going to be one of our outlier fences, okay? So this number that we get is going to be one of our outlier fences. Then we're going to go on the upper end and we're going to say, all right, well, what if we have a really expensive house? We're going to take Q3 and add whatever this triangle was. Notice the difference here, you guys? We're adding here and we're subtracting there. So let's say here we get a purple circle. I'm just running out of shape ideas. So here we end up with our other outlier fence. Basically, these two numbers have helped us kind of cut our data. So we're going to have all our numbers in this list. Anything that's smaller than the blue box number, this is going to be a number, and this is going to be a number. Anything that's outside those are outliers. This is normal. These are like the houses in the neighborhood you would expect to see. And then these are outliers because they're more expensive than the neighborhood houses. So those are unique. They're not indicative of the neighborhood. So this really is kind of what you need to know. The formal, I guess the more mathematical way to explain that is you're going to take Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR, and you're going to do Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Okay, that's really what you're doing. I was just trying to explain with some pictures, hopefully make it a little bit clearer. Okay, anything inside is normal, anything outside is an outlier. All right, so let's practice making a couple box and whiskers plots, or at least getting the 5-number summary. You guys have graphing calculators, and these are kind of nice because you can get the calculator to do most of the work for you. So we're looking at scores on semester assignments for 2 students. We've got Connie and we have Oscar. So what we're going to do is compare them, see what their mean, median, mode are, standard deviation, and all that. So get your calculator out, and what you're going to want to do is once you have your calculator, you're going to want to hit stat. You guys can write these steps down. I'll clear this out. So if you want to, you can write these steps down. It'll show you in the key history right here. So you're going to hit stat and you're going to go enter on edit. I already have these numbers in the list, but if you didn't, what you would do is use, just type these in. Like you would type in 52 and hit enter, 56 and hit enter. But we don't want that. So I'm going to delete that one and delete that one. Okay, so I have Connie in the first list, Oscar in the second. Once you have that, once you have those entered, what you're going to do is you're going to hit Stat and go over to Calc because we want to calculate some stuff. And you're going to hit one var stats. We want to calculate one variable statistics. We have one variable. It's their assignment scores. So we're going to hit enter. And then what will come up is it's going to ask you which list you're interested in. So list 1 is Connie. I'm just going to leave it as list 1 because we need Connie's information anyway. So I'm just going to hit enter, enter, and then enter on calculate. Now it's going to spit out a ton of information, and this is all new notation for us. But remember, X bar means mean. So for Connie, the X bar is 84. Whoa, sorry. This is X bar, okay? The mode we're going to have to do a little bit of work with. The median, if we go back to the calculator and you go down, here's your 5-number summary right here. So our minimum is 82, and so is our Q1. So I'm going to fill those in. Our minimum is 82, so is our Q1. Median is 84, 85, 86. So 84, 85, 86. Now, based on this, we can answer a couple other questions. So our median, they want to know the median, is 84. Whoopsie. Okay, so our median is 84. And then our range, what we can do is we take our biggest number, which is 86, minus our smallest number, which is 82, and our range is 4. So the smallest to the highest score has a difference of 4. Standard deviation is also on our calculator. So if we go back up, here we have S sub x. So it's 1.53. This is S sub x. Now, mode is where it takes an extra step. You guys can write this down too if you would like. So if you hit, give me 1 second, I want to make sure I hit the right keys here. If you hit stat, just hit stat, only stat. So stat, you're going to get to sort A. That's going to sort your list for you. It's going to put the numbers in order. Once they're in order, you can just count which ones repeat. So what you have to do here is look right here on your calculator. See where it says L1 in blue? We're going to hit the blue key, and then it's going to bring up the blue term, L1. Close that and hit enter. It says done. That means that it has sorted the list. So if we go back to stat, enter, and look at our list, now these numbers are in order, okay? The numbers that repeat, 85 shows up twice, 84 shows up twice, and 82 shows up twice. So all 3 of them are our mode. 82, 84, 85, I already forgot. 85, yep. So now let's do the same thing for Oscar. So we're going to go stat over to calc. Now this time we want list 2 because Oscar is in list 2. So right here on the 2 key above it in blue, it says L2. We're going to go second L2 to ask to use list 2. Enter, enter, enter. All right, so for Oscar, our average is still 84. Then let's get the 5-number summary. So if we go down, the minimum, we got 72, 76, 84. 72, 76, 84. 94, 96. Okay, so that's our 5-number summary. Median is 84, got it. Our range is the biggest minus the smallest, so 96 minus 76. 20. Wow, that's a lot different. That's a lot different than 4. Then our standard deviation, so if we go back to our calculator and we look at S sub x, 9.59. That is also way different than 1.53. Those are very different numbers.